GCam on the Xiaomi Mi 11X, the Redmi K40 or the Poco F3. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and let us talk about GCam on your Poco F3, the Mi 11X or the Redmi K40, whatever you want to call it. Now I do have the Poco F3 running MIUI 12.5.1 stable based on Android 11. However, the APKs will work on custom ROMs as well. Now all the resources are linked in the description of the video. So right now I do recommend that you install two GCams. Now the first one which we are using is called Camstellar and the developer is Greatness. Now this one we are using for night sight and astro mode, and it does work absolutely fine. Next up we are using a build by BSG, and the XML which we are using is by Ironheart. Do note that I prefer my pictures to be natural in the sense that I want the picture to represent what I see with the naked eye. I do not like saturated over contrasty pictures, so I have chosen an XML accordingly. You might have a different preference, a different choice, which is why it is very important to join the Telegram group for Poco F3, Mi 11X, Redmi K40 photography, which is again linked in the description of the video, because therein you will find a bunch of different XMLs and a bunch of different GCam APKs. So this one, again, as I mentioned, all credit to Ironheart for his XML, and he is continuously improving the XML as well. So you do have your portrait mode, and with portrait mode, as you can see, the options you have are related to your focus, so it can be auto, near, far or infinity. Then you also have face retouching. Other than that, you have the toggle for your HDR on, off or enhanced. Then you also have Google AWB or automatic white balance on or off. Night mode is present, and along with the option for your timer. Now do note that in both the GCams, all three lenses are working absolutely fine with no issues at all. Then the next option we have here is your camera option. So herein the options which you have again are focus, flash, HDR, Google AWB, night mode. You can of course capture raw photographs in case you want to, and you also have the option for motion photos, and trust me, it works absolutely fine. A pro tip for motion photos is that make sure that HDR plus is off. As soon as HDR plus is off, motion photos is on. Go into Google Photos. Here is a motion photo which I took. Bam, there it is, motion photos. And if you try to edit it, of course GCam works best in combination with Google Photos. If you use like MIUI gallery or anything else, it doesn't work. Anyways, once you try to edit the picture, and then if you go into the option of motion, you should have option for motion. Bam, here it is. I can now slide across the timeline, only if I can get it to work. So here it is, motion, and I can now swipe across the timeline and save whatever picture I want to. So this one, export shot, right? Similarly this one, export frame. So yeah, me personally, I do like the feature of motion photograph. Next up, the other important feature which I personally like is motion tracking, and that is also working absolutely fine on this build. Now what is motion tracking? So let us say I do have my fidget spinner over here. So let us say I lock the focus over here. Now, when I move my phone, you will see that the focus circle is locked. So this is what is known as motion tracking, and this can be used, let us say you're trying to take a picture or a video of a moving object. This is something which is very impressive feature by Google, and again, one of my favorite features of GCam ports. And next up here, we have the option of video. So with video you do have slow motion, and both 1/8x and 1/4x work absolutely fine. Then you also have your normal video recording. Yes, 4K 60 fps works, and you also have the fancy features of video stabilization, wherein you can choose standard, locked, active or and cinematic pan, and yes, all the options are working without any issues. Similarly, you also have time lapse. So again, you can record in 1x, 5x, 10x, 30x and 120x, and it works with both the normal and the wide angle lens. Then if you go into more, you do have panorama. Now with panorama, I did notice an issue wherein you get some black lines, so that is something which does need to be figured out. Photosphere works absolutely fine. Let us go into the photos application, and this here is the photosphere which I took. So here it is. You can see everything works without any issues. And then next up you have playground. Yep, I am a big fan of my AR core and the Avengers and my friend Childish Gambino dancing. So yeah, I did figure out a way of getting playground, and again playground also works without any issues on this build. Now in terms of the macro lens, yep, macro lens also works. As I told you earlier, all three lenses are working without any issues. And the best part about using a GCam is that me personally, I like the detail which I get and the natural colors which I get with GCam port and with Iron Hearts XML. Of course, those of you who want a bit more saturated colors, they do have XMLs for those also in the Telegram group. So all in all, I would like to say that, there is no best GCam. If you ask me what is the best GCam, there is no one best GCam or one best XML. You have a bunch of options, you have a bunch of people working on them who tune the XML to their needs and their likes, and either you can use their XML or you can learn how to tweak it and then use and create your own XML. So humble opinion, stop asking for like best GCam port, best XML. Explore, everything is free, available for free, people are helpful. So yep, go ahead, ask for help, use it, and of course give credit to the developer wherever necessary. Next up, let us see how you can install these GCam ports and all the APKs on your device. So again, Poco F3, MIUI 12.5.1, Android 11. Let us go into FX File Manager, and I am using FX File Manager because I just prefer to use it. You can use any file manager which will let you install APKs. So for starters, you of course need BSG's GCam APK. Then this here is your Cam Stellar by Greatness. This is the build 4 which we are going to use for night sight and astro mode. This here is the XML by Ironheart which we are going to use for BSG's GCam mod. And then those of you who want your AR core and your the stickers from Star Wars and all those things, you would need the AR core APK, the playground APK, and then here are the other Avengers packs and the other stickers which you can download from APK Mirror. Process as simple as installing all the APKs. Let us first install the GCam APKs and then followed by the other three. Do note that AR Core and your Avengers pack and the playground are all optional in case you want to use those things. So let me go ahead and install all these APKs. Now once all the APKs have installed successfully, we can go to the home page, go into main storage. Herein you need to create some folders. The first folder you're going to create is called GCam. So GCaps, CCaps, A in small and M in small. Once that is done, go inside that and create two more folders, configs 7 and configs 8 with a capital C. Next thing, we can go back to our main storage, download, and herein we have the XML for BSG's cam. So press and hold, copy, and then we can go back to our main storage, GCam configs 8, because this is a config for the GCam 8. Tap on the clipboard top right and say paste. Now this is our XML for GCam 8. If you install any GCam 7 ports on your device, put the XML inside configs 7. Next up, we can go over to our application drawer. Here it is. You do have the camera application and we also have Cam Stellar. Let us check out the information for this one. So here it is, 8.1. This is the BSG build. Cam Stellar information. This is again Greatness build 4. So tap on it, open it, and if you tap on the empty space between the shutter button and your preview, right now we have a message saying you don't have any configs because there are no configs which we pasted for GCam 7. However, in the future, if you do, you can double tap on that space. Next up, let us open the BSG camera application. It is going to ask you for some permissions. Let me say while using the application and then tap on done. Now when you want to load the XML, double tap on the empty space between the shutter button and your preview. So double tap here and then load your config. Go into more, bam, here it is. You do have the option for playground. Now with respect to playground, make sure you are connected to the internet, and then you can tap on the button which is over here right beside the switching the camera icon. Tap on this guy, and as you can see, I do have the Avengers already installed. I can of course download stuff from the Play Store, but I don't think so this is going to work, so you will have to manually install the APKs from APK Mirror. And there it is, peeps. That was a brief discussion about GCam on the Poco F3, the Redmi K40 or the Xiaomi Mi 11X, and we also showed you how to install those GCams, and that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.